Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Marv B. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If you're wondering why I'm looking around, I'm looking for a clue because obviously this is a film I just didn't get. You just say it. You didn't get it. Okay, fine, I didn't get it. I don't care to get it, because I don't care to get an STD. But you're right, I didn't get it. I don't give a fuck. If people like the film, that's cool. People love the film, that's cool. It's not my job to love the film, it's my job just to give an honest opinion. Crimes of the Future 2022 is the new David Cronenberg film. It has nothing to do with his older film, also called Crimes of the Future. It stars Viggo Mortensen, Kristen, Stewart, his return to body horror for Cronenberg. Oh, there's all these walkouts. If they walked out because they were bored, maybe. But not because of how gross or insane it is. This is fucking tame. I mean, fuck, the history of violence seems more grisly than this. I just didn't... here's the thing with Cronenberg. I love the Fly remake. I really like Videodrome. I like the Dead Zone. I like the history of violence. Eastern Promises I remember being meh. I never liked the first Scanners. I actually prefer Standard Cop. What was the other? eXistenZ. I'm like, I saw this film. It's called Videodrome, and I prefer Videodrome a lot more. This is a film that, again, it's been a while since he's done a body horror. And this just felt such a slog to sit through. Not only is as creative as people wanted or people thought it would be, is that as gory, violent, or body horror eccentric as people thought it was going to be. Naked Lunch, that's another one I enjoy. Like, you look at Naked Lunch and Videodrome, if you've seen those, this is nothing in comparison to those movies. Nothing. The story, it doesn't really say when it takes place. It barely even says where it takes place. It's just in a place where this little kid, he starts eating plastic, like plastic cups. The mom freaks out and smothers the kid, kills him. Meanwhile, Viggo Mortensen, it's a world now where people cannot feel pain. They also don't get infected with stuff. So they can't feel pain. And because of that, they'll do stuff on them as art. And rather, it's supposed to be a knock on art and how people goes too far for art, whether it be you take on pollution, that's your constitution, whether a ploy. I don't give a fuck what the ploy is, because the story doesn't interest me. The characters didn't draw me in. At least Videodrome, I was intrigued by James Woods and what was going on. The Dead Zone, Stephen King. I was intrigued by Christopher Walken. The Fly, Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum. I gave a fuck about them, which helped me give a fuck about the story. I didn't give a fuck about anybody. I like Viggo Mortensen as an actor. If I want to see him with Cronenberg, I'll watch A History of Violence. Much more of an interesting story to me. So Viggo Mortensen, he can grow new organs. In fact, he thinks maybe they're tumors and stuff. So he gets together with some people. One of them is Kristen Stewart. The other is this other lady. And they do performance art where he lies back and other people take out the extra organs as a art, avant-garde art for people to watch and enjoy. Because as one person says, I think it's Kristen Stewart, surgery is the new sex. Just like people watch sex acts, people watch this surgery ad because they can't feel pain and blah blah blah. So If I want to see weird perversion, Cronenberg already did that with Crash, with James Spader and Elias Koteas, where people get into car crashes and they get so turned on they fuck. That's that's not the Crash that won the Oscar. This is a different Crash, where they hit each other with cars, did car crashes, they did turn on, the boop 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 boop. At least that cast, I wouldn't say I like the characters more, but James Spader, Elias Koteas, like, it's more interesting cast because I'm a big James Spader fan. This also, that film didn't promise something that it didn't deliver. This does. It promised all this return of body horror. The bits you saw in the trailer, you don't really see much more to it. You get a little bit of surgery. Yeah, this one guy with all these ears on him. That thing with the eye is just to look at what his organs. There's nothing else to it. Just a weird. Boop, 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 boop. It's not like there's anything else to it. Like, this is a very tame movie when it comes to body horror aspect. So if you think there's a big return to form for Cronenberg, you don't be in for a rude awakening. Just go back and rewatch Naked Lunch. Even eXistenZ had more going for it in that aspect. That's why I would even put... I'm not a fan of that movie, because the ending is like it ended, but then it ended, but then it ended, but then it ended. And that was like the point. I'm like... whatever. That has more of an effects-driven thing to look at visually than this. Viggo Mortensen with the hood, he looks like he's ready to do a sound film playing death. A lot of people like the talking whispers. Kristen Stewart, kind of a horny lady, who at one point wants to like get with Viggo Mortensen, even puts her fingers in his mouth and then licks her fingers that had his saliva. Okay, there's a weird chair that Vito uses to eat. Even then, I still don't get how it helps him eat. And I don't know, it didn't even look that cool. I don't know what it is. It didn't even look that cool of a design. I mean, I think this fucking chair looks cooler. I found it, someone threw it away, and just found it and brought it home. After cleaning it, of course. But this fucking chair looks cooler than that fucking chair. I was hoping for a lot more creativity with Cronenberg. And, people are making art out of pain. People doing performance artists. I was ready for fucking sprockets. Call it SNL sprockets to appear. So much goddamn art performance. Ready for En Vogue to play on the fucking soundtrack. And it kind of like doesn't know what lane to pick on what it's trying to detail. So it's trying to do everything. Pollution, art is pain, how the evolution, people either they're too used to technology, or they're overloaded with technology, or is the pollution solution is your constitution. One thing leads to another. Viggo Mortensen's kind of pressured to go undercover, and something about there's other people that are going through changes physically. And in fact, you find out that there's a guy that kind of made himself be able to eat plastic for this world. And there's even these like candy bars, these like purple toxic candy bars, which are called the Purple People Eater. They eat these little purple people eaters. If you can't handle it, you'll die. If you can't handle it, then it's like for a new form to deal with shit. And the government wants to hide this shit. I don't know why the government wants to hide this shit. I don't know why the government has a bug up their ass about it. I don't know what their big deal. I still don't get what their big deal is about it. And if it's happened so goddamn much throughout the country and world as they say it is, then it would only be a matter of fucking time before this comes to light. So why are you trying to hide it in the first place? I don't fucking know. I didn't really get that. So, like, the guy who's the father of that kid that died at the beginning, he had surgery, but then when the kid was born, he got those traits. You know, as one person said it, if I cut my finger off and I have sex with someone and she gives birth to a kid, that kid's not going to be born with no finger, with a pinky missing. If I get a piercing, the kid's not going to come out with a damn piercing on his nose. It's just one of those things that it just is what it is. Next step in evolution. There's a bit where Viggo Mortensen gets a zipper thing to make it easier to get the organs in and out. So, not Kristen Stewart, but the other lady, she gets down on her knees and she's licking the zipper. And Viggo Mortensen says a line like, "Don't spill." That's what we always say to the ladies. We all say, "Don't spill. Only swallow." So, don't we all say that to the ladies? That's probably the grossest part of the movie, with the zipper. But again, if you think it's going to blow your mind, cue the song, "You got another thing coming." You got another thing coming. And really did at the point, I mean, what the fuck is the point of all this? Either it's shit I've seen Cronenberg do, and do better, whether the sex, violence, S&M thing, I saw that done better in Videodrome. Dealing with technology and the human condition. If it's the perversion, Crash did that, and I would say I would put that above this movie. Yeah, I can't even say I love that movie, but I put it above this. It just repeated attributes that he's done because he wrote the script like 20 years ago and didn't change a word, for what I understand. Maybe that was a mistake. And even if you're doing it for makeup effects, you're not getting that much either. Like, what really here is going to cause people to walk out and be, "Ooh"? Maybe the zipper thing? Maybe? That's the only thing I could think of. Spoiler alert for the ending. They looked at the kid, they do an autopsy, but his body's been changed. I think Kristen Stewart did it, and I say I think because I already forgot the fucking movie. But then, at one point, Viggo Mortensen's at home, and he's kind of in pain. And like the kid at the beginning, he starts eating plastic, and he feels a type of emotion, and he tears up. It's what his body's been wanting the whole time. So now, apparently he, like these other people, has this natural thing, and maybe, I don't know if that's why he was having organs being grown, if there's some other reason, but either he'll be the new rebel to let people know there's a new evolution. Again, I'm like, why is the government hiding this in the first place? What? I will admit, there's a lot of this. I'm like, what's the fucking point of this movie? Pollution, art, pain. Don't let it spill. There you go. That's the point. Don't let it spill. Okay. I won't let it spill. I'll be honest, I don't even know what it's called Crimes in the Future, because I don't even know what the fuck crimes were in the movie. The crime of eating plastic? There's fucking people doing that today. They don't get fucking shot and killed. They're just stupid. This bit fucking people eating shit. 2 girls, 1 cup. Which I never saw, I never will see. Even for requests, I will never see it. Not even if you pay me $1,000, I will not see that. I'm glad I have went my life never seeing that. I never care to. I know what it is. That's enough for me. But there's people eating shit. They're stupid, but as far as I know, no one's been shot and killed for it, or suffocated, or whatever the hell. I didn't give a fuck about this world. The store, I would give props to the store. Musical store, pretty decent. Makeup effects, I don't know, they didn't impress me. As cool as that CGI, but they didn't really impress me as much as other Cronenberg films. I don't know, maybe it's because the designs just weren't as creative, or for Cronenberg coming back to body horror, you're expecting more. But again, if you've seen Naked Lunch and Videodrome and stuff, this is just small, shitty potatoes. And again, didn't care about the characters. Didn't gravitate towards the characters. Again, James Woods I liked in Videodrome. I was curious about his journey. Long live the new flesh. It made me want to delve deeper into the meanings. This made me want to sleep and take a nap. I did not do it, but I guarantee I'm not the only one that thought it was boring and wanted to sleep. Oh, it got critical notices. I don't give a fuck. Critics took a shit on John Carpenter's The Thing back in the day and said it was a piece of shit. That's what critics have done. Why should I give a rat's ass? Oh, the new Predator film Prey is better than the original. Better than the original Predator. Okay, I already don't believe you. Don't give a fuck. I got my own opinion and you got yours. Fuck what critics and people say. Think for yourself. Fuck, I don't know what else to say. I got nothing. Fuck this movie. I guarantee you by the end of the year I will forget this movie was even a thing. So, sorry. I don't care if it's Cronenberg. I'm not going to kiss his ass if I don't like the film. I don't hate Cronenberg because I just mentioned multiple times films of his I liked. I'll stick with Videodrome. I'll stick with The Fly. I'll stick with A History of Violence in the Dead Zone. Hell, it's sad to say I'd rather stick with Crash than this movie. And not even big on that one. Naked Lunch, I liked, even though I was confused. That's a movie that's confusing. But that's a movie that's confusing, but it still kept it interesting for me. With the world of this writer and what's going on. And there's, that's a more creative, crazy movie than this, at least to me. But with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.